For this dormitory, actually this is for the students registered, and maybe we don't know whether it's all fresh students or that's basically for the students who just made a self-registration, they will be quarantined here. So the lady Yao Zhihong is the manager for the international office. So this area actually is the main floor for the dormitory, and here is actually for the quarantine area. So this only for this one building, actually the whole block, which means 3 buildings actually for quarantine purpose. So far, we have this kind of 9 blocks. So these 3 buildings, actually, we call the main flower halls. So how many students right now quarantined here? So it can accompany 1,100 students. So it's all single room, and also with the bathroom included. So let's say the students from China. So basically, you help them from the airport, and this is basically their first stop. So when they arrive, they will come to the reception. So this is the building A. So you can see this main flower house. So we have a reception desk work around the clock. So even students arrived in the late night, they also can be registered and also get their room key, and they will go to the room directly. So is it possible that we go to see that room? So let's say whether we have the room available. So look at here, actually we have a different sign here. So that's for the sanitizer. So you look at the university actually quite prepared themselves for the self-hygiene. So Laura is my colleague. So she will help us and guide us toward around. So Laura is the facility manager, so she will show us the room in block C. So basically for this building, it can accompany 160 students, and right now per flat we just had 8 students. So normally that should be maximum 20 students, but right now because of that density, we only allowed 8 students per flat. So look at actually if we need to enter to the block C or building C, we need to first sanitize our hands. So the lift is still available. And also look at the mark here on the floor. So that's basically show you where you need to stand. And also you need to face to the walls. So be sanitized? Yes. So for the public area within the dormitory, it should be have that deep clean every day. So the school also doubled their efforts in disinfectant endeavor. So in front of the buildings, like we have that towels or the swab papers or the sanitizers available. So you can see actually we also have that sanitizer available here. And also, is a face covering must be worn in this area. So do you like this have always this kind of a reminder because still we are in this public area. So Laura will show us one single room. So right now this flight B actually is empty right now. So for each flat, actually we have around 12 rooms. Let's say 12 to 14. But right now, this is for the quarantine purpose. So because of that density, we right now only allowed 8 students to live in.
If students need help this year to get online shopping deliveries to them, then we can organise to assist as well with that.
Oh, that's very considerate. 那么劳拉介绍说呢，这个是学生的一个公共区域。
So as Laura just introduced, this is a common space. So for each flat, which means that's good to leave for 12 to 14 students, but right now only 8 rooms available because of the quarantine purpose. And this is actually a shared space. So we talk about it for each kind of this flat. You consider that as a household. So basically, this is a place for the family. So once the student free from quarantine, then that 8 students at this particular flat, then this is the common room, the shared places for them. So look at all these kitchen tools or the sanitizer cleaning tools actually all available to students, and they can use all these for free. They can cook here. So all these actually are available to students. So for this common room, so right now it's available for students, for that 8 students, so that maybe have the potential risk of cross-infection. So it's actually for students right now in quarantine, of course, we follow the stricter requirement. So for the students in their flat, they need to wear masks. And also, actually, if they're free from quarantine, they need to wear mask. If they don't need to wear mask, because that's already after that quarantine period. So, actually, they will also take the cleaning job or the other job here in this common space. So also it's available for the online shopping, and also that will delivered to the flat. So for what kind of food available to students? For the fridge, of course, it is empty here because no one right now is living right now in this flat. So we don't know whether it's Chinese student right now living in a flat, whether it's good for us to interview that's overseas students, especially students from China.
And because Mr. Bai were interested to see what the students are going to be eating, how they can look after themselves during quarantine.
Absolutely, I'll show you one of our rooms now. Just follow me.
Okay, follow you. Follow you. 罗拉现在要带我们去看一下隔离宿舍。
So right now, Laura will show us a room.
因为整个这个 隔离单元呢，现在还没有学生，所以我们可以进来。
So right now for this area, there's a flight. Actually, there's no students, so it's available for us to see how the room looks like.
Lots of food.
So you can see a lot of food prepared here.
All this is free.
Yes, so for students who are quarantining, we're providing them a 72-hour food pack. Once they've got a UK bank account, they can order online shopping and we'll help bring that to their door. We also provide them with a crockery pack as well, and the bed's made up with towels. So there's more here because they can't go out straight away when they arrive if they're quarantining. And we also have a 24-hour reception here, so if they need support from the wellbeing team or security, we're 24/7 if they need anything at all.
Lovely. Laura 解释说，如果我那个翻译的不对，小姚你来帮我补充哈。这就是学校免费提供给这个。
So you can see actually this is the whole package free provided to the students who just arrived here. So look at actually you can see the food, instant noodles, the crackers, bread, also rice, a fruit, and also here you can see the kitchenware like knife, plate, spoon, one cup, the one glass. Basically, is that for the students' needs. And also look at inside the box. There are also locked. So look at actually the toilet paper. So the reception desk actually is available 24/7. And also we look at the security staff. So also work around the clock, as well as the student association. Also actually working really hard. Of course, we know that we cannot really interview students face to face, but whether it's available that maybe we're not face to face, but actually we just maybe behind the door to interview one Chinese student.
We'd need to set that up in advance with the student,
Right.
I think, because we'd need to let them know beforehand.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's possible right now, but if we organised it in advance with the student, then it would be. So I know you spoke to some students last time you came who had been in quarantine, and that's fine, but it would need to be organised with them to let them know it's happening.
Sure.
Okay. All right. 那这样的话，我们看看在楼下的这个公共空间里边，看看有没有学生。
So let's say whether maybe after quarantine we can interview the students in the public area. So we don't know whether, and of course we need to give them a early heads up if we want to interview the students in quarantine. But maybe we can interview students already free from quarantine. So we talk about this is one single room with a bathroom.
点呢，就是它所有的房间都是自带这种卫浴的，就不需要跟其他的学生来 share 来一
So
起
you
共
do not
用。
need to share the shower places and toilet. So the only shared places actually is the kitchen, is the common room. So it's very, very clean. It's like a hotel room.
Lola, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Good to meet you.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for your time. Bye. 那像这一层啊，
这边是另外的一个区域，就是整个就是属于一个 flat。
这就是另一个 flat。
对，宿舍单元。
所以这一层有几
So we talk about how many these kind of flats available per floor.
B 如果没有不这个
flat B， 对对对。
那边是 A。
So we look at this is right now we are at flat B and this is flat A. So we have basically 2 flats per floor, so in total 20 rooms.
那现在隔离区域呢，我们是隔离时间呢，大概现在一个 flat 最多8个人，那就是
So 8 people per flat, which means that 16 students per floor.
16个学生一层。那这栋楼里可以住多少个学生？
我们这栋楼应该是8层左右。
So for this building actually has 8 floors.
旁边的那栋楼我记得是16层。
And the a building next to this one actually is 16 floors.
有 reception 出来的时候发现，那既然是隔离宿舍，为什么感觉有的同学有出进呢？
So it's the a quarantine block, but why we still see students coming in and out?
Thank you.
它既是当做隔离宿舍。
So right now this is for the quarantine purpose, but it's actually a designated space. But also we also have the a dormitory.
这个宿舍本来就是定的 Mayflower，那他们
So some students actually their dormitory actually is Mayflower, which is this is their place.
那隔离的学生，
So for students in quarantine and non-quarantine students, they mixed in the same building.
首
So that may have the potential risk of cross-infection. So we talk about actually we have 3 blocks, so which are totally separated, and for a flat or the floor actually also clearly identified.
当做临时隔离宿舍的这些学生，在使用，他们会在这边住2个星期。
So for quarantine period, basically that lasts 2 weeks, and then students will move to their booked
那如果
dormitory.
我们举个例子，比如刚刚
So let's say, for example, the students
期间忽然感到身体不适，就是
that in the quarantine period they may have some symptoms.
措施。
So what's the measures the school will take?
就是到这边来报到之后，
So once they
我们都会让
registered
学生呢
at the reception desk,
大学自己的一个测试，一个 COVID 的测试，它叫做
so they will basically first do a droplet test for COVID-19.
检测。这个
So basically that's for asymptomatic
学校提供这样的检测。
没错，今年的情况跟以前就是真的
purpose. So basically that test available at the school.
校园里面呢，大学做了很多的举措。
So for the universities, actually, we prepared ourselves
校园
in the previous months, make sure that we
学生
actually
能感到安全的一个这样的环境。
make this place a safe places for students and our faculty staffs. So for nearly 90 universities actually found infected case. And same for the Southampton University. So what is the reason behind for these large number of students or the schools actually found the infected case? So the reason behind first is their personal issues.
一个新的环境，他有自己的一些期待，但是在
想多交朋友，
想多交朋友。
So for the students, because it's the school opening season, they would like to do more social. It's like actually they may forgot the social distancing or not really wear masks, so they not really protect themselves well. So that will not only impact themselves but also impact the a block or the students living in the same block. So this September,
南北的大学和我们当地另外一所大学
University of Southampton and Solent actually are the 2 schools or the universities in the Southampton. Actually, we issued a joint announcement, basically saying that students they need to protect themselves, but also need to protect the residents living in these areas. So we look at actually the mainstream media outlined in the United Kingdom also shows that the main reason behind that school infections is the parties, is the social activities because they're far from their families and they also would like to meet new friends. So there are a lot of parties or these social activities going on, especially at the beginning of each semester. So right now we are at this temporary library entrance, and this is also the largest library. So look at, actually this is only one direction available. That is why we called this is a temporary library entrance.
这个在一个高校里头，图书馆是非常重要的，学生经常会来的。
So for library, actually, we all know that's really critical and crucial to the each university. Right now, in the COVID-19 period, is maybe a potential risky place for students get infected. So let's say what universities actually prepare themselves, especially in the library.
And the library and see the system. We
Great,
just mentioned
great.
one way. 就是这个单行道系统以及我们图书馆它做的各项措施。
好的，好的，Anna, please. Yeah, follow you.
Thank you.
Anna 是图书馆的这个负责人，她将带我们来
So
看一
the
下
lady
整个的这个图书馆
Anna will
是怎
show
么样
us
在
a
疫情
little
期间
bit
做好防范。
in the library, especially what kind of measures in place to protect our students. So look at it, this is actually the temporary entrance and it's also one-way traffic. So first of all, they need to swipe or scan their card, the library card.
Hello.
Queue issues,
Okay.
and then another member of staff who checks. So everybody who comes to the library has to have had a booking, either to click and collect some library books,
Yeah.
to book a study space to sit and study,
Yeah.
or to book a browse and borrow slot where they go and pick
All
the
should
books off
book
themselves.
online?
Yeah, all booked
Okay.
online through a
Okay.
QR code.
那么安娜说呢，你看一进来之后呢，有
So
这
as
个
Anna introduced, so you look at there's the staff there to help students keep social distancing and also for registration. The students, if you would like to use the service in the library, no matter is to return the book or borrow the books, or you need to study here, you need to book appointment ahead of time online.
我之所以要提供这样的预约呢，
So this kind of booking system
要
basically is also the easier for the school to trace and test.
时间在这个
So basically we know that a certain person, let's say if a confirmed cases happen, then we know exactly who else surround that confirmed cases. So look at all these cleaning stuff available here.
huge bottle 啊，你看这么大的一个就是洗手液啊，这个消毒
So this is basically the whole table is for cleaning purpose.
清洁纸巾、酒精的含量的这样的清洁纸巾。
So this is a cleaning station available and also you can use it to wipe your study places and also the computer as well.
桌子的话就可以拿这个洗。
So like you can see, you can just clean the table first.
这里是一个 IT 支持中心，大家看
And also look at this is IT supporting desk. So IT help desk.
电脑方面的问题、图书馆借阅方面的问题都可以向他们咨询。
And then additional help and support here for the students, and this is also the way out.
OK，好，那安娜说呢，这个我们看到这个箭头指向，这里呢就是整个图书馆的。
So you look at this is the way out. So originally this is actually the main entrance. But right now we had this temporary arrangement. So everything right now is one-way traffic.
整个呢，这个是一个单行线。
So you look at actually we have this one way, one direction. So that also prevents the cross-infection happened.
社交距离。
So like social distancing, you look at this, the reminders here. So in total we have 5 floors.
Social distancing, so the desks are marked if they're available for study. The
tick.
Oh.
If they're not, there's a cross and the chair has been removed. Yeah.
Good.
Can't see the
我们
chair.
看到这个整个的这个，我们声音可以稍微低一点
So
哈，
you
因为
look
有学生
at,
在
of
学
course,
习。
we need to keep
你在这里如果未
quiet.
定了这个学习的位置，
And if you book the places, you look at it actually for cross, which means this place not available. You only can book the places with green sign, which means checked, so that also keeps social distancing.
All books are quarantined for 72 hours in between use. So if students
how many hours?
72
72
hours. So if a book is taken off the shelf,
Yeah.
we ask for it to go into the book return box.
Okay.
It's quarantined before it goes back on the shelf for the next person.
书也要隔离。
对，书也要隔离。
So we
如
talk
果
about
说是学
for
生在这个
books,
书架
not
上
only
取
for
下来书之
students.
后，
Let's
你
say
看
for
完了
students,
之后
if you take the books out of the shelf, you cannot put directly back to the shelf. You need to return them to these book returns. So the books, once it removed from the shelf, then they need to be quarantined. Books also need to be quarantined for 3 days for 72 hours.
They need to put it in the box.
Yes, they have
also?
book returns all over the library. They just
Okay.
put it in the box and then we will take them and
那么
quarantine.
如果你借阅了图书，现在要还，
So if you want to return the books, same procedures.
隔离3天之后。
3 days for quarantine for books.
It's a one-way system.
Oh, yes. Sorry. 这全部都是
So you look
单
at
行道。
everything actually is one-way system.
Again, hand sanitizer.
Yes. 就是在图书馆的角落，我们都可以看到这样的这个。
So we always can find this hand sanitizer, the cleaning stations available.
Okay. Where will I have to? Anna?
We're going down to show click and collect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Near the main entrance, yeah?
There's the
A
floor
different
below.
zone.
Yeah.
Okay.
这我们是要，他刚才说我们是要去哪里呢？
要看这个 click and collect，就是学生
Click and
他
collect
怎么借书，
哦哦，对对对对，OK。
要怎么借书。
So let's say how students
看到
borrow
已
books
经有学生在
against the background of
在学习
COVID-19. You look at ways to have students booked the places.
The student who is studying here without a face mask.
Yeah, because we have 2 meter social distancing, it means if students are staying to study, they're able to take off their mask. But for any movement around the library, you have to wear a mask.
OK，因为我刚才观察到在图书馆里
So actually, we look at students, they not really wearing masks. So the reason behind is for students, if they keep social distancing 2 meters, then it's okay for them not wearing mask. But if you need to move around in the library, you have to wear masks. That's the rule here.
但是如果有这个做好
So
了
for
特定
the
的社交隔离的区域，
indoor
是不是
space actually is required to wear
现在英
mask,
国大部
but
分都
look
是
at
规定
actually they have really good social distancing practice. So for students, if they not just sit down to study, so they do not need to wear masks.
我们看到这个好多电脑啊，现在都已经封了。
So look at the
就是
laptop right now is
唯
also
一可以
blocked,
使用的可能
not
都需要保持一定
available.
的社
So
交
you
距离
look at also the only one that available that's also follow the social distancing rule.
我们让摄像老师看一下，就是在图书馆里，如果你使用电脑的话呢，我们会
So
看到
if you,
比如
the
说这个
same
同学座位是可以
practice
使用的
like
但是这里
we
呢
have
打
that
叉的这几个电脑呢
cross
就是不可以使用
right
的
cross, which means not available,
因为是
and it's good for this one
所以你就
with
可以
the a
坐下来
green
使用这个时
check.
候你要去这个清洁的角落拿你的这个清洁
And
纸
also
巾
you need to wear this wipe to clean everything,
啊这些
especially the
这
mouse.
这样呢一定养成好的习惯，保护好自己。
So it's also protect yourself. This is really good habit.
那这个桌子是可以坐的，打成一勾。
This is the section, so you can reserve a book that is in the library if it's on the shelf. A member of staff will go and collect it for you, wearing gloves and a face mask, and then this will be ready for our students to come and pick up. And it's been very, very popular. So everything here has been quarantined.
Yeah， 我们看到这个架子
So
就是
this
学生
area actually is called
取图书
click
里面，
and
比如说你在线上
collect.
已经
So the
定了
students,
图书
if you like to
这
borrow the
个
book,
谁
you
的哪本
first of
书
all
那
book
图书馆里面
online,
就把它们都编
and
好
then
放写好
the
里面
staff will help you to bring the books from the shelf, and students can pick their book.
然后呢，把它放在不同的区域，首字母。
So
所以学生就
basically,
知道
students
这个区域
just
是
can
以
find their
自己的姓名
initial.
对对。
啊，这样也很方便。
So it's very easier for students just find their initials, and then you can find your book.
再上架。
So you click and collect your books, and if you want to return the book, a book also need to quarantine for 72 hours.
Sorry, can I ask you a question? Could you speak Chinese?
Yeah.
OK， 我看着像中国学生，我就你是哪里来的？从哪来的？广东啊，是。
So we just actually met a student from China. He's a freshman. Just finished quarantine from Guangdong province. So just finished quarantine for around 1 week. So it's also the first time use the services available here in library. It's quite easy to use, and I feel quite safe actually to see fewer people here. And also actually contactless services all available here, so you can actually pick up the books. So let's say during the whole process,
没有，这跟书
just like the only contact subject
还算安全。
the gentleman had is with the book. So there's no other ways actually. So this is the safest way. Otherwise, you just need to stay at home, right?
适应可以。
So I think everything actually going quite well.
妈妈就看着。
So maybe your parents actually right now maybe looking at our live streaming.
这个是什么？
我们中央电视台的。那你说一下你在这里南安现在从结束隔离到这里开始你的
So we finished the quarantine, and right now we're already 1 week. So how do you feel so far?
很焦虑吗？
Worried?
还是相对安全？你是一个什么样的？
Were things quite safe? Or how do you feel?
数字来说，英国的数字总
So
体来
if
说
you just look at the number, actually make people feel a little bit concerned. But if actually the situation going on here, especially in the University of Southampton, as long as you protect yourself well, I believe everything just going so well.
比如说我们还有
So look at actually we also have
记那
that
种唾液的检测，
the droplet
然后再去
test
提到一些
once or
你
twice
做吗？
有做，我做了2次。
per month. Actually, I have already did it for 2 times. Of course, negative results. Otherwise, you will not see me here. So just protect yourself, okay?
学业顺利。
Wish everything a success and a smooth study here.
这个很幸运啊，这碰到一中国学生。
So very luckily, we just find a Chinese student.
好多新生啊。
So a lot of actually freshmen here because
过来
just
看手
opening
续，
the
或者
new
是因为我们
semester.
在学校还有一些线下课程，所以有一些学生他们是
And of course, the classes is not all online. Right now, we also have offline classes. Actually, we have that the mixed classes, online plus offline.
在保证安全的前提下，我们要给学生提供线下的上课体验。这一点是
So actually, we just first of all do everything we can to make the school space a safer places, and we will also conduct
看一下我们的教
that offline teaching. So let's say whether maybe it's available, we can go to maybe one classroom, then you will know exactly what's the setup inside the classroom. So thank you, Anna, so much. So please stay safe.
Right. Yeah. 刚才小姚说要带我们，就是南安普顿大学呢，现在还有线下的课程。
So we actually still have the offline course undergoing. So let's say whether possible, we can go into one classroom
看一下线下授课的情况。
to see the settings or the arrangement in the classroom.
因为我知道现在英国很多大学像大
So
学已经
basically, to my knowledge, for the Cambridge, they already announced that for the full semester, they will all move to online. But why we still have offline classes? So basically, a few months ago, for each building, we had a deep study regarding the safety.
这个风险评估是谁来做？
So who basically to do that, the risk evaluation? So basically we have the building facility and the house facility. Basically we have a specific group to do that evaluation to see whether that building is safe enough to conduct a offline course.
对，这个就是我们这个大学的中心地带。然后我看到了这边居然有一个新的这个小卖店，这个露天的小卖店。
So also let's see, they have the pop-up store here. So this is also the snack area. So look at this very nice social distancing. And also like a salad and burger available here. And also look at students follow the rules by wearing masks. So this is actually outdoor space. For students and faculties, actually they can choose whether they would like to wear a mask or not. It's both okay.
我看到人学校的这个很多的这样的标语啊，
对。
都在提醒着大家注意防护。
So look at actually, we always can find that notice to remind students. You look at this one is regularly wash your hands,
如果一旦
and also actually we also have other notice. Let's say here, self-isolate if showing symptoms.
对于所有的人，对于我们新来的学生，都是一个非常大的挑战。
Actually, this is always a big challenge to students, especially for the freshmen. So we also send the letters, emails to remind our students.
我们进一下这个楼，我们看一下。
第85号学习中心。进来还是有这样的洗手的地方哈，这个进行。
So look at in front of each building, we always can find that hand sanitizer available.
这个桌子都摆得比较开，它的两米的这个距离。
So look at the desks. Actually, here is also laid out by following that 2-meter social distancing. And we also have a class going on that you can find.
也有这个的 cleaning station 啊，就是清洁中心、清洁站啊。
That's a timetable in front of the classroom. So this is a lecture room, and we will see whether we have a class going on.
那想要得找一个没有上课的教室给我们展示。OK。
So this is a empty
给
classroom.
大家看一下，这是2209号教室。
So for a seminar, or a small group of students, actually this is basically the place for offline classes. And this room actually good to accommodate 12 students. You also look at actually you also have that mark on the table with that check, green check and right cross.
打对勾的啊，那这一纵列是打对勾的，那么中间有两个纵列是不能
So that also follow the social distancing requirement.
有两个位置。
So you look at, first of all, students need to wipe everything,
设施
the
都测试
table,
一
the
遍。
desk, the
在
chair,
上完课之后，同时要清理一遍。
整个的
before the
这个
class
教室
and
有一个
after the
新风
class.
系统或者是空调系统。
So talk about the ventilation here.
它都有，就是在最开始我说的这个风险评估里边。这个
So
是
at the
有放
very
进去
beginning,
的
the risk
就是保证
assessment
这个
actually
通风
that's
系统
already
这个通畅流畅
considered.
这是
So we have that
最
a
最
air
重要的
refresh
我们
system.
看这里写着进入教室的一些原则。
To look at
这
here,
些
we have the
只能坐
do's.
在打对勾的啊，就
So
是
students
可以
only
使
can
用的位
sit
置上。这
at
是第一
that
条，第二
the
条是不
places
太
with
主
green
要。
mark.
第
And
三条
second,
是
you need to wear
啊，
masks.
如果你使用完这个位
And
置
the third
必须
one
要
is
用
after
刚才
use,
说的
you need to wipe
把你的位置，对，把你的位置必须
the places.
还是比较详细。
So also in a classroom, we also have that disinfecting wipe available. So students also need to do that clean work after the class. So we talk about that a department of engineering, a department of law. They need to conduct this kind of offline courses. And here this is maybe the one-on-one tutorial. So you can see we still have offline teaching going on. So thank you very much to show us around from the dormitory to the classrooms. We look at actually for universities. The University of Southampton actually really have that thoughtful arrangement. We talk about COVID-19 actually is the always like show itself in different areas, in different spaces. Actually, behind all these measures, the students need to protect themselves. They need to aware the importance of self-protection because we don't know how long this battle will last. So for our daily work, life, study, the students need to protect themselves physically and mentally. They need to work out, strengthen their immune system. And also school, of course, also have different services and facilities available to students. And this comes to the end of our live streaming. Thank you so much. And we will also bring you the universities in the different places in UK to see how students and schools prepare themselves. Thank you.